Tonight I've got 2 shorter stories for you. Quick ones. The kind that get in, ruin your night, and leave. So get comfortable, and let's start with the first one. Anyone who works in a call centre has at least one. Whether it's the first traumatising call or that one that hits particularly close to home, we've all had a call that stuck with us. Mine isn't like the others. It was worse. Much worse. This is the call that made me quit my job as a 911 dispatcher. 911, what's your emergency? A woman answered, panicked. Please, you have to help me. I think someone's in my house. Ma'am, what's your address? Ma'am, what's your... Please hurry. I'm hiding in the closet. I can hear footsteps. Her voice was little more than a whisper. Ma'am, I need your address. If you could text... Shh. He'll hear you. I paused, listening intently. Lily H. Norton Elementary School. Class 2A. I froze. The buzz of the world around me was drowned out as a deep-seated dread coursed through my body like venom. That was my daughter's information. It took me a long time to find the words, but when I did, they practically spilled out of me. Who are you? I didn't receive a response. The call ended immediately afterwards. I threw down my headset and stormed past my supervisor, pale as a ghost. Hey, where you going? He shouted. I didn't stick around to explain. I had to get home. I drove like a woman possessed all the way to my house. I kept turning over the caller's words in my head. The woman. Who was she? I skidded to a stop in my driveway and made a beeline for the front door. I was fumbling with my key, trying to fit it in the lock when I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. Don't turn around. It was the woman's voice. I know everything about you. Where you work, who your friends are, what you eat for breakfast in the morning. I felt a long fingernail trace the outside of my ear, taunting me, almost playful. Tell anyone about the call, and you'll regret it. She sliced her finger down my earlobe hard enough to draw blood. I winced. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I don't even know who you are. The woman's breath was hot against my flesh. You took something very precious from me. Now I'm going to take something very precious from you. The hand lifted from my shoulder, but I was too frightened to move. I don't know how long I stood there trembling, key halfway in the lock. When I finally gathered enough courage to turn around, the woman was gone. I burst into the house and raced to my daughter's bedroom. I threw open the door and flew over to her bed. I cannot describe the immense relief I felt when I found Lily lying under the blankets fast asleep. Nothing happened for weeks afterward. I had informed the police and Lily's school of the matter despite the woman's threat, and they assured me that they would do everything in their power to keep me and my daughter safe. But they failed. I received a call yesterday while hunting for jobs. It was Lily's teacher. Hello, Mrs. H. This is Lily's homeroom teacher. I'm calling to ask you if you've picked your daughter up from recess today. Dread swallowed me like a python. My voice trembled as I gave my answer. No, I haven't. What happened? Where's my daughter? I'm sorry, Mrs. H. I really am. Lily, she never came back inside from recess. The police have been informed. In that moment, my entire world fell apart. I hung up the phone and cried. I know it was her. The woman. I don't know who she is or what she wants. But now I can only pray that she brings my daughter back to me. And if you thought that one ended badly, don't worry, it gets worse. Here's the next one. The day I told my mother about my dependency on the juice was the day that she stopped believing a word that came out of my mouth. Not that she did in the first place, but after I admitted that I was a functioning alcoholic, she used it against me every chance she got. That's why, when I saw something gruesome in the woods, I wasn't surprised when she immediately blew me off. I was taking a stroll through the forest, sipping from my flask and enjoying the cool weather. And that's when I heard it. A man's voice shrieking through the open air. shatter in the silence. I crept over to the nearby tree and peeked from behind it as the scene unfolded before me. "Honey, please, it was just one time, I swear," the guy yelled, shield in his face. A woman straddled him, a machete held over her head. "You, John Stark, are a fucking liar." With one swift motion, she jammed the machete into John's neck. Blood spurted out of the wound. I could see the shock in his eyes as the life began to slip away. I didn't stick around to find out what happened next. I bolted through the forest as fast as my legs could carry me. Once I got home, sputtering and soaked in sweat, I darted to the landline phone. "Where the hell have you been? You look horrible," my mother shouted as I passed. I didn't respond to her. Instead, I dialed 911 as quick as my fingers could manage. "Hello? I need the police," I said once the line connected. "I think I witnessed a murder." An officer was sent to take a statement. In the meantime, my mother hit me with a rolled-up newspaper and called me a liar. I knew that's how she would react. When the officer pulled up, I was eager to tell him what happened. I let him inside and he took out his notepad. "Go ahead and recount your story." Before I could get a single word out, my mother chimed in. "Officer, I'm so sorry for wasting your time. Kevin here is a functioning alcoholic. He's been known to embellish the truth." The officer shot me a glare. I could feel my face flush. "Is that true? Are you under the influence?" "Well, yeah, but..." "Son, you just admitted to a public intoxication. You better thank your lucky stars I'm not taking you in. Don't call back unless there's a real emergency." And that was that. The officer stormed out of the house. I could never forgive my mother for what she did. Her unwillingness to believe me could have cost someone their life. And I'm not just referring to John Stark, because I heard a tap on my window last night. And when I woke up, I found a note taped to the glass that read, "Tell a soul, and you'll end up just like him." Hi everyone, thanks for listening. So just to recap. One man sees a murder and no one believes him. One 911 dispatcher gets the worst call of her life, and both stories end with the same basic lesson. If something terrible happens and the wrong person answers the phone, you're absolutely fucked. Sleep well.
These emergencies were inauthentic.
One guy got a death threat on his window and the other lost a daughter, you cursed off his printer.
Response times appear emotionally inefficient.
No shit.
Flagged for poor customer satisfaction.
Good night.